was just a poor mechanic, until a shocking accident threw him into the most dangerous race of his life. Can he survive sabotage, win the championship, and capture the heart of the racing club owner's daughter? You won't believe how one ordinary man changes everything in this high-speed story of love, courage, and truth. Before we dive into the incredible story, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you never miss our powerful, life-changing content. Thank you for listening to this heartfelt story. If it moved you, share it, comments below, and let someone know you are never alone. I still remember the sound. Metal screaming, glass shattering. Her breath caught somewhere between fear and silence. The road smelled of burnt rubber, and something fragile breaking inside me. She lay there, a beautiful stranger. Her world turned upside down. My hands trembled, but my heart stayed steady. I pressed cloth against her wound, whispered calm into her chaos. Stay with me. Her eyes opened slowly, confused, alive. That moment felt like a miracle. Days later, she found me again, not on the road, but in my small, quiet life. I want you in my world, she said. Her world roared. Engines, speed, luxury, a racing empire. I entered as nothing, just a poor man, with oil-stained fingers, and a stubborn heart. They laughed at my silence, and my careful eyes, but I watched. I learned. I listened to machines like they spoke truth. The night before the race, something felt wrong. A whisper in the engine. A hidden flaw. I warned them. No one believed. Morning came. Speed turned cruel. The car broke. Metal failed. And so did their trust in certainty. The driver fell. Pain echoing louder than the crowd. Silence followed. Heavy. Uncertain. Then her father looked at me, not with doubt, but with something deeper. Tomorrow, you drive. The world shifted, felt fear, but also something burning stronger. The race began. Wind tore through my thoughts, but my soul stayed focused. Every turn felt like destiny testing me. Every second, a fight between past and becoming. And the finish line, closer, closer. And suddenly, the crowd exploded. But I only saw her. She ran to me, shining, heart open. She held me tightly, as if I had always belonged there. I want to be your wife, she whispered. Her words settled deep inside me, like the first calm after a storm. And in that moment, I understood. Some crashes break lives. Some crashes begin them. Her hand stayed in mine, warm, certain, and somewhere beyond the noise, our story kept moving forward. Her hand stayed in mine, warm, certain, and somewhere beyond the noise, our story kept moving forward. I felt the weight of that moment, not as victory, but as responsibility. Her world had opened its gates to me, yet I still carried the dust of my past. Grease beneath my nails, echoes of empty nights, and a hunger that never truly slept. She looked at me, not as a champion, but as the man on the road, holding her life together with shaking hands. Days turned into motion. The garage became my temple. Machines spoke, and I answered with patience. I rebuilt what others overlooked, earned respect, one silent success at a time. Yet not every eye softened. Some burned with doubt, others with quiet jealousy. Felt it. In the way voices paused when I entered. In the way trust came slower than praise. One evening, the sky hung low and heavy, like it carried a secret. I walked past the main track, and heard it again. That whisper, not from memory, but from a car waiting in shadow. My fingers traced the surface. Cold metal, familiar tension. Something felt wrong, deeper than before. Not wear, not mistake, something deliberate. My breath slowed, heart steady, mind sharp. Footsteps echoed behind me. Careful, turned, and saw a figure disappear into darkness. The air shifted, thicker, unsettling. This time felt different. Not an accident waiting to happen, but a choice someone had made. A dangerous one. I stood there, between silence and truth, feeling the same pull as that night on the road. That moment before everything changes. Her voice called my name in the distance. Gentle, trusting. And I realized, this time, it was not only about winning. It was about protecting something fragile, something real. I tightened my grip on the cold steel, eyes fixed on the machine, and the unseen story it carried, ready to uncover what lay hidden beneath, before the next race, before fate decided again, ready to uncover what lay hidden beneath, before the next race, before fate decided again. I stayed there, breathing with the silence, listening beyond sound. The engine held its secret tight, but I felt it, a tension that did not belong. I opened the panel slowly. Metal whispered. Bolts loosened under my fingers. And then, I saw it. A small adjustment, almost invisible, yet deadly at speed. My chest tightened. This was no accident. This was intention. Her laughter echoed from afar, like, unaware. I closed my eyes for a moment, not in fear, but in understanding. Someone wanted the fall. Someone wanted the break. Maybe. Someone wanted me gone. I fixed it quietly. Every movement careful, precise, like stitching a wound no one else could see. Footsteps again. Closer this time. I stayed still, waiting. A shadow stretched across the ground. Long. Hesitant. You see too much, a voice murmured. Low. Controlled. Turned slowly. Met eyes hidden behind calm. A smile that carried no warmth. You came from nothing, he said. You should stay there. His words felt sharp, but they found no weakness in me. I had already faced worse. Empty nights, silent hunger, a life unseen. This place deserves truth, I answered. My voice stayed steady. Even as the air grew heavier, he stepped closer. Close enough for tension to breathe between us. You think they will believe you. Pause. Long. Cutting. I thought of her. Her trust. Her hand in mine. Her world opening without fear. I do not need belief, I said softly. I need to finish what I started. For a second, his mask slipped. Just enough to reveal something darker. And he walked past me, like nothing had happened, like the storm had only begun. I stood there, heart beating slow, controlled, but deeper now, aware. This race carried more than speed, more than victory. It carried truth hidden in motion, danger wrapped in applause, and somewhere within it, a line waiting to be crossed, where trust would either rise or break completely. I wiped my hands, closed the machine, and stepped back into the dim light, knowing the next moment would not come quietly, knowing the next moment would not come quietly. Morning arrived, not with peace, but with a restless sky. Clouds stretched low, like they carried the weight of something unspoken. The track shimmered beneath early light, calm on the surface, hiding everything underneath. I stood beside the car, hands steady, mind sharper than ever. She walked toward me, soft steps, I searching mine. You feel it too, she whispered. Not a question, knowing. I nodded, unable to hide the truth from her. Her fingers brushed mine, gentle, yet firm. Come back to me, she said. 3 words, simple, yet heavier than any engine. The crowd grew louder, voices rising like a storm. But inside me, there was only focus. The race began. Engines roared. A violent symphony. I moved with it, not against it. Every turn demanded trust. Every second tested control. And a flicker in the mirror. Too close. Too fast. A car pushed harder than needed. Aggressive. Unnatural. Felt it. The same presence from the shadows. Chasing. Pressuring. Waiting. The track narrowed ahead. A dangerous curve. The kind that reveals truth. Or ends it. My grip tightened. Breath aligned with motion. The car behind lunged forward. Metal nearly touching metal. A warning without words. I held my line. Refused to break. Refused to fear. For a moment, time stretched. Thin. Fragile. An impact brushed my side. Sharp. Controlled. Not enough to crash. Just enough to shake. The message was clear. I was not meant to finish. The world blurred. Crowd fading into distance. Only instinct remained. I adjusted. Countered. Balanced chaos with precision. The car responded. Like it trusted me. Like it knew. I would not let it fall. The curve passed. Barely. The danger stayed. Right behind me. Waiting. Watching. I caught a glimpse again. That same car. That same intent. Closer now. Hungrier. And ahead. The track stretched long. Uncertain. Holding something unseen. Something final. My heart beat deeper. Not with fear. But with clarity. This race was no longer about proving myself. It was about surviving what truth had uncovered. And protecting the fragile promise. Waiting beyond the finish. Her promise. Her promise. I pressed harder. Engine rising beneath me. And the distance between past and present began to blur. As the next moment approached. Faster than breath. Closer than control. Faster than breath. Closer than control. The wind roared louder. Not outside. But inside my chest. The straight stretch opened. Long. Deceptive. Place where speed feels like freedom. And danger hides in plain sight. I pushed forward. Engine screaming beneath me. Tires gripping like they understood the cost. The car behind stayed there. Persistent. Calculated. A shadow refusing to fade. And another curve approached. Sharper. Unforgiving. I felt it before I saw it. A slight resistance. A hesitation in motion. Not failure. Something else. Something left behind. Something waiting. My mind raced faster than the machine. Every detail returned. The night. The whisper. The hidden adjustment. A second truth revealed itself. This was never about one car. It was layered. Planned. I adjusted my approach. Slower on entry. Stronger on exit. The car trembled. But held. Behind me. The shadow lunged again. Closer than before. I heard the contact. Scrape. Brief. Threatening. The crowd gasped. A distant echo. But I stayed inside the moment. Focused. Present. I would not break. Ahead. A narrow pass between barriers. No space for error. No room for doubt. I moved toward it. With everything aligned. Heart. Hands. Instinct. The other car followed. Too close. Too eager. And just as we entered, he pushed again. Harder this time. Forcing the edge. Forcing the risk. For a fraction of time. Everything tilted. Control slipping. Balance fading. I felt the edge of loss. The same edge as that night. When life hangs by a thread. But something inside me held. Stronger than fear. Stronger than force. I turned into it. Not away. Met pressure with precision. And the car responded. Like it trusted my soul. Not just my hands. We cleared the pass. Barely. The shadow faltered. Just enough. Just one mistake. Small. But real. Took it. Accelerated. Distance growing. Inch by inch. Breath by breath. The finish lay ahead. Visible now. But it no longer felt like an end. Felt like a crossing. Between what was hidden. And what would be revealed. My chest burned. Not from effort. But from knowing. This race carried truth no one could outrun. And someone out there. Still believed. They could silence it. I kept my eyes forward. Hands steady. Heart unwavering. As the line drew closer. And the moment waiting beyond it. Began to take shape. And the moment waiting beyond it began to take shape. The finish line stood ahead, bright, unforgiving, a boundary between chaos and consequence. I pushed harder, not for victory, but for truth. The engine cried beneath me, every vibration alive, every second stretched thin. Behind me, the shadow refused to fade. One last attempt, one final reach. I felt the surge, sudden, desperate. He was coming fast, fast, like everything depended on this single strike. The air tightened, time slowed. I saw it clearly now, not just a rival, but a man with something to hide, something worth destroying for. The line drew closer, meters turning into moments. His car moved beside mine, close enough to feel his intent, a sharp turn of his wheel, calculated, final. He aimed to end it here. No witnesses, no second chances. But I stayed, centered, unshaken. I held my path, even as danger brushed against me. Metal screamed, sparks flew, a violent whisper of impact. The crowd rose, voices crashing like waves. Yet inside me, there was only silence, a calm born from everything I had endured. Pushed through it, through pressure, through fear, through him. And then, the line crossed beneath me, sudden, absolute. The world erupted, sound returning all at once, loud, overwhelming. But behind me, something changed, a loss of control, a mistake too late to recover. I saw it in the mirror, his car slipping, spinning into truth he could not escape. The race ended, but something deeper had just begun. Slowed, hands still firm, heart still racing. The track no longer felt like a battlefield. It felt like a place where masks fall, where actions speak louder than victory. When I stepped out, the air felt heavier, charged. She ran to me again, faster than before, eyes filled with fear this time, not joy. "You are safe," she whispered. Her voice broke softly, as if holding back everything at once. Held her, felt her heartbeat against mine. Real, fragile. "I am here," I said, and meant more than the moment. Around us, movement shifted, people rushing, voices rising, and somewhere beyond, the man who chased shadows faced the light. I looked toward the distance, where everything began to unravel, piece by piece, truth stepping forward, slowly, inevitably, and deep inside, I knew this was not the end of the race, only the beginning of what came after, where trust would be tested again, where love would stand, not against speed, but against everything hidden beneath it. But against everything hidden beneath it. The noise slowly faded, not into silence, but into something heavier, like the air before a storm finally breaks. I felt her still holding me, as if letting go meant losing something fragile, something hard-earned. I lifted my eyes, and saw him, being pulled from the wreck, not broken, but exposed, his calm gone, his control shattered. For a moment, eyes met, and in that brief connection, truth passed between us, unspoken, undeniable. This had never been about the race alone. It ran deeper, through power, through fear, through everything built on illusion. She stepped back slightly, her fingers still holding mine. "What is happening?" Her voice trembled, not from weakness, but from realization. I turned toward her, careful, honest. "There is more beneath this place than speed." My words settled slowly, like something she had always sensed, but never faced. Around us, whispers grew. Mechanics, deaf, people who once looked at me with doubt, now looked with questions, and something close to belief. Her father approached, his presence strong, yet different now. Not just authority, but awareness. "You saw it before anyone," he said. His voice carried weight, not pride, but truth. I nodded slightly, not as victory, but as responsibility. The track behind us told its story. Skid marks, broken lines. A path of intention revealed too late. Yet something inside me remained unsettled. Not finished, not complete. 'Cause plans like this never stand alone. They grow in silence. They hide in plain sight. I felt it again. That quiet pull. Like a thread still waiting to be followed. She noticed a shift in me. You feel something. I looked beyond the crowd. Toward the garage. Toward the place where machines rest. And secrets breathe. Yes, I said softly. This is only a part of it. Her grip tightened. Not in fear, but in strength. Then we face it together. Her words carried warmth. And something stronger than certainty. Trust. Pure. Unshaken. I took a slow breath, letting the moment ground me, before stepping forward again. Not as the man who won. Not as the mechanic who proved himself. But as someone who now stood between truth and whatever still tried to hide. The garage doors stood ahead, half open, light cutting through shadow, and somewhere inside, something waited, quiet, patient, unfinished. I walked toward it, each step steady, aware that the next truth would not come easily, but it would come. The garage doors creaked open, low, heavy, like they carried the last secret of this story. Inside, shadows rested between machines, silent witnesses to everything hidden. I stepped forward, heart calm now, not searching, knowing. Truth no longer needed to chase. It simply waited to be seen. A small device lay near the workbench. Simple, almost forgotten. But it held the missing piece. Records, adjustments, proof of every silent act. Her father stood beside me, reading it all, his face shifting, from disbelief, to understanding, to quiet regret. I trusted the wrong silence, he said softly. His words echoed deeper than noise. Around us, people gathered, not as spectators, but as witnesses, to truth finally standing in light. The man who once moved in shadows, now stood with nothing to hide behind. No speed, no control, no illusion, only consequence. And yet, I felt no anger, only a strange stillness. Because some battles end not with revenge, but with clarity. She walked to me, her eyes no longer searching. They had found their answer. You changed everything, she whispered. I shook my head gently. No, truth was always here. I just refused to ignore it. Her hand slipped into mine. Familiar, warm, but now stronger. Built not on a moment, but on everything we had faced. Together. Days passed. The noise settled. The track returned to life. But something had changed. Not in the engines, but in the hearts around them. Respect grew quietly. Not for speed, but for honesty, for effort, for courage to stand when no one listens. I returned to the garage, not as a stranger, not as a hero, but as myself, still learning, still working, still grounded. She stood beside me, not above, not behind, but with me. And in that simple truth, I found something greater than victory. Peace. Because in the end, life moves like a race, fast, unpredictable, full of voices telling you who you are. But the real strength, the lasting victory, belongs to those who stay honest in silence, who work when no one sees, who choose truth, even when it costs everything, and who hold on, not just to success, but to kindness, to love, to the courage of being real. Her head rested lightly against my shoulder, as the sun faded beyond the track. And in that quiet moment, I understood. Some journeys begin with a crash, but they find meaning in how gently and truthfully we choose to move forward.